today I want to do things a little different here on my channel. I want to share with you 5 things, 5, that I have done right through our homeschool journey. If you are new to my channel, my name is Jamie. I'm a stay-at-home homeschooling mom of 3 boys. I have a 7th grader, a 5th grader, and a 2nd grader. And here on my channel, I like to share encouragement for homeschooling moms, motherhood, life. If any of that sounds interesting to you, make sure you click that red subscribe button before you leave. Let's get to the topic of today's video, where I share with you 5 things that I have done right over our almost 9-year homeschooling journey. Today's video was actually an idea that one of you sweet mamas who have been following me from the very beginning here on my channel reached out via email and shared this topic with me, because there can be so much negativity in the homeschool world. There can be so many negatives, and I just wanted to take a moment and spin off of her idea, which I'm so grateful for, because that's what I want to share here in this place, is encouragement, truth, connectivity, right? That's what I want in this space, support. That is why I'm here. The answers to today's questions, I had to think long and hard about, and I actually had to ask my husband and my boys, because whatever reason it is, the bad stuff is always easier to believe. I can look over the course of our homeschooling journey and tell you all the things that I've done wrong, the things that maybe I shouldn't have done in our homeschool, but to look at the positives and what I have actually done right in our homeschool is so much more difficult for me. Let me know in the comment section if you are the same. So today's video is one that I want to jump on. I love this topic. I love this idea, spreading positivity and encouragement. And let's take a moment and reflect on the things that we've actually done right. So thank you so much, sweet mama, the one who sent this idea to me. I'm so grateful, and I'm happy to bring this video to you today and to all you other moms here in this space. I hope you find it encouraging, and I want to challenge you before we get into these topics to do this on your own. This is something I want to start doing here in this space, is encouraging you to reflect on your own homeschool and your own journey. Motherhood, as a woman, as a wife, as a mom, not just homeschooling specific, but today's video, I encourage you to do some journaling. I encourage you to get a notebook and stop and think and reflect on your journey of homeschooling, even if it's just 6 months, even if it's 2 years, whatever it is, wherever you're at in your homeschool journey as a homeschooling mom. I want you to do this with me, and if you are feeling brave enough, share them in the comment section down below. The first thing that I have done right in my homeschool, the very first thing, and these are in no particular order, so just know that. I feel and truly believe that in our homeschool, I have done a very good job keeping character and work ethic, responsibility, respectfulness, and God at the center of our homeschool. I feel like through the 9-year almost duration as a homeschool mom, that is one thing that I have done right and one thing that I have done well. And again, this is something that's really weird for me, because I'm not the one to sit and say I did this well or I did this right. Again, it's always easier to notice where we messed up and to notice what we think we should do different. But I do truly feel in my heart that I have done a very good job keeping God center in our home and in our homeschool, and also character, morals, hard work. I feel like I've done that right. The second thing I want to share that I feel I have done right in our homeschool is persevere. How many times, I can't even tell you how many times I've wanted to give up. I could go through all of my journal entries, because I keep journal entries. I like to sit and write out my prayers and write out my thoughts and my feelings and everything. I cannot tell you how many of those journal entries are reflected in homeschooling, and how I'm so not cut out for this, how I feel I'm not cut out for this, how I want to give up when the other side just seemed to look easier. And I know it's not. I know nothing is easy. But in my eyes and in my mindset and at that time, it was easier to just send them, persevere. That is something that I feel that I have done well, because there are many times I wanted to throw in the towel. So doing this homeschool thing, living this homeschool life with perseverance, We have stuck this out when so many times I wanted to give up, when so many times it hasn't been easy. We have persevered. And that's not just me, that's my kids too. As a whole, as a unit, as a family, we have persevered through this, through the challenges and all of it. The third thing I want to share with you that I have done well in our homeschool is being flexible. If you've been here for any length of time here at Simply Living It, you will know I talk all about the freedom and the flexibility of homeschooling. That is something that I talk about in almost every single video that I share with you. The freedom and the flexibility. I feel as a homeschooling mom, I have embraced flexibility so well. And what I mean by that is adapting and switching and listening and being in tune, feeling what we need to do, knowing where changes need to be. Being flexible is something I feel I've done very well in our homeschool. Being flexible in our schedule, being flexible in a routine or a homeschool flow, a homeschool schedule, all of that. Being flexible every single day, being flexible to know that when my kids need a break, like when I can feel it, when we're all kind of getting that vibe that we need a break for a minute. Allowing that, seeing that, saying, we're gonna go homeschool in the camper. We're gonna be flexible. We're gonna adapt, right? We're gonna do it together because we're in this together. I feel that's something that I do very well here in our home. I'm very flexible. I'm flexible when it comes to play dates, okay? Maybe we normally homeschool from 10 to noon. This is hypothetically speaking. If we have a play date that wants to be an early morning play date, okay, that's fine. We'll homeschool in the afternoon, or we just won't do school for that day and we'll maybe double up tomorrow. Being flexible is something that I have done very well in our 9 years as a homeschooling family. I feel I've done that very well, which I am so grateful for. And I think a lot of that is just personality. I'm just really a flexible person. The fourth thing that I have done well in our homeschool is embracing. This is our journey. Embracing this journey right here as it is, that it is ours, that it is our own individual journey. Embracing that it's not gonna look like anybody else's. Embracing that I love anything and everything homeschool related. Embracing all of it. Embracing my flexibility, embracing the way it looks in our home. And this comes, there's so much I wanna talk about in this because there have been countless moms who are new homeschooling moms that have reached out either on Instagram or through email that are in a season of desperation. And I'm talking the comparison trap that we all fall into because, hello, social media can be your friend, but it also can be your greatest enemy. All of it. And I want to make a statement here and just remind you that I am not here to paint a perfect picture of homeschooling. I'm not here to share, the day in the life videos that I share with you, painting this picture of our homeschool life is perfect and every day is great, because that is the biggest lie. And I feel part of embracing where you are and embracing that homeschooling your children is your journey, and also knowing that what you might see on social media has been picked apart and pieced together to paint a picture for you all, right? So if it's a tiny square on Instagram or a whole video that may be a day in the life or whatever, fit this into whatever context it pertains to you. Remember that you're just seeing one square. Remember that you are seeing a picture that somebody took of a scene or a situation or a scenario for it to look a certain way. So whether that's a day in the life or a square on Instagram, life in general, remember you're seeing one tiny moment, okay? And with that being said, I am not here to paint a picture of perfection at all, because it's not. It is hard at times. It is a struggle at times. There are days that are beautiful, but there are a lot of things that I don't share here on YouTube in this space to protect the privacy of my children, right? My boys are gonna grow up to be men someday. And what their mom has chosen to do, how their mom has chosen to homeschool them, does not need to be something that necessarily the whole world needs to know. That's why you'll see little glimpses and little snippets of our life here. Just a little snippet. Because I want to protect their privacy as well as encourage you moms. Like, that is my heart. So protection and joining that with encouragement and community and support. This space is truly a gift to me. And so I just want to be as real as possible and remind you that this is not a place of perfection at all. What I have done well in our homeschool, and especially in the last probably 4 years, is owning our journey. I have owned our homeschool journey. I know that our homeschooling life does not look anything like what 98% of homeschooling life looks like on Instagram. It doesn't. I own that. I accept that. I don't want it to. I want it to look our way. So owning our homeschool journey, owning our story, owning that this is ours. And it's unique and it's individual, and yours will be just as unique, just as individual to your home and your family. So own it. Own it, okay? It's your journey. Own it. It's not supposed to be a carbon copy of anybody's. It's yours. The fifth thing in my 5 things I've done right in our homeschool that I feel I've done right is seeing homeschooling as a big picture. And what I mean by that, it's not what we accomplish in one day. It's not what we accomplish in a week. Not even in a school year. Because I can look back at this past year of our homeschool and tell you, I should have done this, I should have done that. We didn't get that done. We didn't get this done. This was a goal and we didn't achieve it. I could pinpoint a million things in a homeschool year that I should have focused on or done differently. But that's not what this is about. Seeing homeschooling as a whole picture of years of education, years of learning, years of exploring. If I look at just one day in our homeschool life and think that by that one day I'm supposed to have taught my kids everything, I'm a huge failure. Because it's not one day as a homeschool mom. It's not just one day in our life setting them up for everything. Yes, one day is a piece of the puzzle. One day is the piece of your homeschooling journey. It is a piece of your journey. It's not the whole thing. So if you look at 1 year of your homeschool journey, which so many of you moms have told me this, I'm 1 year in and I feel like a failure. You are not a failure. 1 year does not make or break your homeschool journey. It's not 1 year. It's everything wrapped in to one. You are molding and shaping and creating these little humans one day at a time, but it's not supposed to all be done in one day. Look at any other form of education. It doesn't happen in one day. It's years upon years upon years upon years upon years of building and molding and shaping until, hey, you're graduating high school. You know what I mean? So try and remind yourself of that. When you go one day or 1 week and you feel like a failure, or you're 6 months into homeschooling and you're like, I'm done, I've failed, I can't do this. No, you haven't failed. You're just beginning. And those 6 months or that 1 year of what you have done so far is going to build into the next year, which is then going to build into the next year, right? Please remember that, and please change your mindset and your focus to you have not failed. You are not failing. You have not failed your kids. You're not failing as a homeschooling mom. None of it. That is the biggest lie that the enemy wants you to believe. But we are not going to believe that in this space, because it is years upon years upon years. We're going to look at the whole picture. It's the big picture, not one day. Not one day. So remember that. That is one thing that I feel in the last 4 to 5 years I have done well in our homeschool is see the big picture. I'm not focusing like laser focused in on one day or one specific year. It's all the years combining together. It's everything. It's the books and the nature studies and the journaling and the learning, living life. It's the jobs, the responsibilities, the character training and building, and all of it in one to shape and mold. It's everything. Remember that. Those are the 5 things that I want to share with you, that I was encouraged to share with you by one of you sweet viewers. If you have any ideas or things that you would love for me to talk on as well, send me an email or leave it in the comment section down below, because that is why I'm here. I feel I am here in this space to encourage you moms to talk about the real side of homeschooling, the real life side, not what you might see on Instagram, not what you see here, even in some of my, where I've shared a day in my life. You see what I want you to see. There's so much going on behind the scenes. So remember that. Don't be so hard on yourself. I'm human, you're human, and I never want to paint a picture of perfection in this space, in this simply living it space, because that's exactly what I'm doing, hence the name, Simply Living It. We are simply living it, day by day by day. I am taking, in the words of Lisa Turkhurst, I am taking God's hand and simply living it. That's what I'm doing. That's what we're doing. So let's do it. Let's do this. That's what I have for you today in this space. Take some time to do some journaling, to do some reflecting. And if you're brave enough, like I said before, share with me some of the things that you have done right in your homeschool. Let's look at this differently. Instead of all the negative, let's stop and say, what have I done right? What have I done right this year? What have I done right? Because I'll tell you right now, 9 times out of 10, I can pick out all the bad things. But I asked my son, what have I done right? Tell me what I've done right in all of our years of homeschooling. And what he told me was, you're a good teacher. Are you kidding me? That's the last thing I ever expected to come out of his mouth, because what I see and what I know are the hard days. It's the days where they spill milk, chocolate milk, all over my white rug that is under my dining room table, and I lose it. That's what I see. Those days that I've had enough and I can't breathe and I feel like I'm suffocating and I want to give up and I can't do this. The days that I'm impatient and can't sit there long enough to get a lecture out or listen to them read or answer all their questions. Those are the things that I remember or would pick out. The bad. And all he sees is I'm a good teacher. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Never would I have picked that to be something I've done right in all of our years of homeschooling. Never would have picked that. Never would have thought that in a million years, because I see the bad. I see the negative. I see my hard days, the bad days. So I want to encourage you in this. I want to pass this on to you. Do some journaling. Do some reflecting. I want to know what you have done right in your homeschool. Let me know in the comment section down below if you want more of these maybe journaling, writing prompts, like reflecting on your homeschool. Give this video a thumbs up, because maybe this will be a new thing we start in this space. I'm not here to paint perfection. I'm here to help, encourage, to point you back to God, because we can't do it in ourselves. It's only through Him that we are doing any of this. That's why I'm here. Let me know if you want more. I will see you in our next video. Bye.